Probably everyone who watched this video doesn't have a special person with whom you can chat all day without losing energy. Maybe someone already has a lot of friends but wants to be alone to relax from them. This all somehow comes down to loneliness. But is it really so useful? We must admit that we all know that loneliness is a bad thing that can ruin you as a person. Because in all schools they talk about the harm of loneliness and make you believe that you should have many friends. Because of that all teenagers have a lot of friends, but unfortunately many of them bring harm and stupidity under the guise of fun. Therefore sometimes it's better not to be in such companies. And in such cases, when you come from school, you meet a bunch of positive and useless people, and you come home and sit alone and think, with whom I'm studying at all? It seems to me that spending more time alone is more useful than being in the company of relatives all the time. Thanks to loneliness, you can better understand your personality, think about the future and in general about those things that happen in your life. You can see these things in more detail, and this is the loneliness of a normal person, which I wanna talk about in this video. I don't know why, but in the modern world, loneliness is often perceived as something negative. It's believed that if a person spends more time alone, then he is lonely and unhappy. But in many cases, loneliness becomes the best way to restore energy and even increase creativity. We are accustomed to constant news, social networks, work, study, calls. It seems the more interactions, the more useful. But sometimes you need to stop and spend time by yourself. Let's explain why loneliness in some aspects is necessary. Loneliness sometimes gives us more opportunities to get to know ourselves without external pressures and other people's opinions and expectations. We can understand what exactly we want from life. And if you really think about it, the most important steps in life are usually taken alone. That shows one simple truth: no one is supposed to make decisions for you. You have to accept that your choices matter only to you. And to be honest, most people don't really care what path you take. That's why solitude helps you stop depending on others. It teaches you how to take responsibility for your own life. You begin to understand that building character, making serious decisions, and growing emotionally, all of that requires personal space. Nobody will fight your inner battles for you. Nobody will fix your mindset. And that's why sometimes being alone is exactly what you need to finally become who you are meant to be. As I said, being alone helps you not to depend on other people's opinions, which means you become independent. Yeah, the more comfortable you feel alone, the more you understand what it means to be independent. You gradually reduce your nerves and stress due to the problems around you. But the most important thing for me is that you learn to motivate yourself independently, because there is no choice but to act. It also improves your creativity. A lot of creative ideas are born in solitude, when you are away from the noise, distractions, and constant pressure from others. When you're alone, your mind has a space to wander. You start thinking deeper, noticing small details, imagining things real without judgment. In fact, most artists, writers, and creators say their best ideas came during quiet moments when they were completely alone. If you're a creative person, or even if you just want to build something of your own, then you need time alone. That's when you can sit down, clear your head, and really think about your plans and ideas. Being alone is normal and even necessary. Without people, you simply recover faster. No conversation, no other people's problems, no pressure. You don't have to pretend to have a positive conversation with someone, and you can just be yourself. Sometimes you need to relax alone, because no one distracts, irritates, or takes away your energy. It's like turning off the noise and rebooting. Then you come to your senses and you're back to work. But not everything is smooth, because if you are alone for a long time, then it has a reverse medal, of course. We people simply need socialization. Complete isolation from society can lead you to problems, such as feelings of emptiness and depression. And the best solution is to find a balance for yourself and for your environment. Drawing conclusion, I wanna say that loneliness isn't a punishment and a problem if you use it correctly. It becomes a powerful tool for self-knowledge, growth, and recovery. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you will emphasize important points. So, see you in the next video.